like, how could I blame you?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
like I can't blame you for that either, because fucking you don't know my situation, or like I don't know your situation, so you know what I mean? Like I feel like you still have to be able to kind of laugh at the horrible, dirty things of the world because they exist, and they're not going to go away simply because you don't want to talk about them, or at least it's how I feel, unless you have something to add to that.
I think that there's a certain amount of mindfulness that goes into it, but like you said, if you don't know, then you don't know.
Right.
But like so one of my biggest pet peeves actually,
Okay.
and this isn't necessarily comedy, but this is something that's very common in entertainment, is the use specifically for female characters, and let's not even get started about how this is largely written by males, as most entertainment is.
Okay.
But there's a huge theme across various types of media, whether it's television shows, movies, even like anime and stuff, of using sexual abuse, especially with female characters, as like development. Like this is something that was character developing. And to a certain extent, yeah, it's something that could definitely like define your life, obviously.
Yeah, it's a traumatic moment, of course.
But I think that it's super fucked up how common it gets used as a way of I don't know, of like showing women as becoming stronger, like from abuse. Like, I guess my big thing is a lot of entertainment with like strong-willed women, or with women who are seen as having like a lot of strength, is that they have to like go through shit. And while I validate that, and definitely going through shit can make you stronger, I don't think that you have to like. I don't think you have to go through shit to be a strong, independent person.
Right. Well, I think that's also like a storyteller problem, because like,
Yeah.
because you know me, I you know I write stories as kind of like, you know, that's eventually I'd like to be a novelist. That's where I'm kind of working towards. But like, so like one of the characters I'm like, let me put it this way: none of my characters go through that, because it's not the only avenues of approach. But a lot of people feel like because that's relatively common right now, especially with fucking Dick Weinstein over there. You know what I mean? Because please tell me you know what I'm talking about, right?
I know what you're talking about.
Right, because of, you know, the Harvey Weinstein thing, people think, well, okay, we're just going to go ahead and make that like a relatively common plot line, but without recognizing that, you know, it's like, well, women are also refugees, you know what I mean? Like, there's that kind of pain, too. Like, my mother-in-law is a fucking war refugee, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that makes her a strong fucking woman. So, why don't you write it that way? Like, that such a way exists. You know what I mean? Or like you lose your best friend, or I don't know, fucking there's literally 1,000,001 different things. So
Well, it's also the idea that like through using something, you know, like abuse in a relationship, romantic or otherwise, you know, is just another way of explaining kind of like a woman's life and both her successes, her failures, and her issues through her relationships with men. And that's a huge issue in entertainment.
Okay. Could you elaborate a little bit more? Like at least give me some sort of example.
Yeah, let me see if I can think of anything off.
That's why the
Yeah.
show's called Under Pressure, because we're killing this monumental creature
Yeah,
while
also talking about serious issues.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can make this really easy because I can't think of a ton of outside things. Think about the entire concept of like manic pixie dream girls, and examples for that would literally be anything Zoe Deschanel plays. People like Ramona Flowers, the girl from that Jim Carrey movie, the one where he like forgets his girlfriend or whatever.
The one where
I don't forget what. I
Yes
don't
Man?
remember what it's called.
No.
No, definitely not.
It's like, no, that's well, I mean, it's not
His memory is like forcibly taken, but a lot of like the ideal and the appeal of like a manic pixie dream girl is that she is like interesting and quirky, but she's really only here to further the plot of the male protagonist.
I see.
Like, if we ever watch anime together, the biggest fucking problem I have with a lot of anime is that, like, anime male protagonists, especially in, like, ecchi animes, are fucking, to me, like, boring as fuck, and all of the women involved are just so much more interesting.
Right.
And I know that a lot of that is done on purpose. That doesn't make it any less annoying.
But, I mean, the problem with that, though, is that, I mean, it's also a different culture of ours.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, so, like, I don't know if you ever got to see, I don't know if you ever watched...
I need to sharpen.
Yeah, that's fine.
Entertain this thing.
I don't know if you've ever seen, like, Sword Art.
Oh. If I've seen what?
Sword Art Online.
Yeah, I've seen Sword Art.
Okay, so, like the entire first season was great. You know what I mean? Like, Asuna's a fantastic character. She's one of the lead characters. You know, she's fantastic. She's strong. And then at some point in season 2, she becomes...
Fuck, I have to get... Oh, I have to get out. I have to get out.
That's fine.
I'll be right back.
At a certain
Only
point...
because I don't have anything to heal my poison.
That's fine. At a certain point, she kind of becomes like a sexual slave. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I was incredibly uncomfortable during that entire situation.
Dude, and so was
also,
like...
Also, let's not even talk about what happened at the very start of this season.
I have not seen it, but I heard that the what's it called? The writer or the creator, like he apologized for it. He's like, yeah, I think I'm done. He's like, I think I'm done doing these kinds of plot lines. Like, I don't feel like these kinds of plot lines are relatively...
It was bad.
It was that bad?
It was not good.
Jeez.
It was not good. And the problem is that it was literally like a third of the episode.
Really?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't watch it. I like fast-forwarded through it.
Oh, wow.
Only because I have a lot of discomfort involving things of that nature.
Right, like sexual assault.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair. Like my
it
wife
just makes me vastly uncomfortable.
Yeah, like, and that's why we didn't that's why I mainly skipped season 2. Like, we were kind of getting to some of those parts, and my wife's like, she's like, is this say like this the whole time?
Yeah, it's just icky.
And I was like, no. I was like, technically we could just kind of go through this, because, I mean, she ends up, you know, like, I don't know, like, things like that are far outshadowed by the fucking, you know what I mean? Like, the whole Yuki arc. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that entire fucking arc was heart-wrenching. It was thought-provoking. Like, it was fucking everything I wished it would have been all over again. And I will agree with you on that. I think those plot lines really are just overused. So, yeah, we're kind of in a staunch agreement on that one.
I just feel like people could do better.
Yeah. But I think some people get so caught up in the, you know, it's like, it's a serialized thing, I have to make something fast. But I don't think that's an excuse. Granted,
sure.
I'm not there yet as a writer. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it's like to have, like, novel deadlines yet. You know, I mainly write when I want to and whenever I feel like it. But it still doesn't excuse it, if that makes any sense. Ooh, hey, listen, homie, I know you're having a fantastic time getting everything set up and everything, but this thing's looking... Oh, you're here.
I'm here.
I was like, man, you could fucking run just a smidgen quicker.
Yeah, no, I'm here.
This would be great for me. So yeah. So no, I'll definitely be in agreement with that. But I still will at least put this much. It's still a different culture. You know?
Yeah.
Like, the conversation in Japan, things are still relatively different. You know what I mean? In terms of how certain problems and issues and questions are kind of addressed.
Oh yeah, no, and I'm sure that things culturally are different as well, just with, like, the treatment of women.
Well, I mean, to my understanding, it's a very homogenized society. It's not like we are, where we're still trying to figure out what American culture means.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, well, you know, Americans are commonly like this. And I'm like, I mean, maybe? Oh, fuck me running.